Tonight, with our continuing coverage of House Bill 2, the ELN student government unanimously passed a resolution against the bill. Thursday, our Connor Del Prete looked into how some students are being affected by another resolution passed by a different group.
Since House Bill 2 passed, Elon University has released 4 resolutions denouncing the bill. This includes a faculty resolution, which passed with 97% of those present. While many students at Elon may agree with the faculty's decision, junior Taylor Schramm says the resolution is a reason why he doesn't speak up in class.
It's at a sad point now where we feel like we need to shield ourselves from people who disagree with us. And that's how I feel as a conservative, not by choice, but because I've been forced to feel this way.
Schramm is not alone in these thoughts. ELN spoke to 5 students who say they don't speak out in class about their conservative views to avoid being singled out, looked down upon, or grade reductions. Freshman Victoria Scott is one of these students.
I noticed in class that she would push me farther to explain things than the other students. So whenever I'd bring up a Republican perspective into it, she'd use or different methods to say, well, why do you think that? That isn't necessarily right, and things like that. And she kind of put me in the middle of the spotlight all the time, which was a little uncomfortable.
Elon professor Kirsten Ringelberg brings up issues like transgender rights in class and says while it may make some students uncomfortable, that's not necessarily a bad thing.
I like the idea of classrooms being uncomfortable spaces in useful ways. In other words, that your whole life you've believed one thing, and now you're surrounded by people who not only don't believe that, but who feel strongly that it's not appropriate. You're in an environment now with those people and you're going to be uncomfortable. How do you handle that? That's an educational, that's a developmental experience that I think is really an important part of college.
But Schramm says the uncomfortable feeling in class just isn't worth it.
Why risk it if you're a conservative? That's how I look at it. I feel like it's much less of a risk to write a paper from a liberal perspective than a conservative perspective. I'm passing it into a teacher, and I have done that at Elon just for sake of not wanting to be looked down on for views that I actually have.
But for now, Schramm and Scott say they will continue to stay quiet in class while tensions across the state remain high. Connor Del Prete, Elon Local News.